Hello, I am Reverend Dr. Namches. In this video, we shall learn how to collect data or information from people by creating a Google form. But before you create a Google form, there are two requirements. First of all, you must have a Google account. You must have a Gmail account. For example, abc.xyz@gmail.com. And secondly, you must have an internet connection. And then I currently have a Gmail account, and also I have an internet connection right here on my laptop. I have an internet connection right here on my laptop. And then I will simply proceed to my Google account. And so I quickly open my browser. This is my Google Chrome. I quickly open my Google Chrome. So right here on the top right, you will see my picture. That's my Google account with my Gmail. And then you will see the Google Apps. You can see my mouse pointer pointing at my Google Apps. And once I click on this Google Apps, this is my account. This is for Google Drive. This is Business Profile Manager for Google. This is my Gmail. This is my YouTube. This is for Gemini. This is Maps, Search, Calendar. This is news. This is photos. This is photos where I can store all my photos online. It is for Google Meet. Google Meet is for teleconferencing. And this is Translate, Vid, Google Sheets. This is Google Docs, Google Slides, Google One, Google Finance, Google Play, Google Shipping, Keep, My Ad Center, Google Classroom, Chat, F, Saved, Merchant, Google Ads, Contacts, Google Contacts, where I can save my phone numbers, where I can synchronize my phone numbers with my phone and my Google account. And then this is Google Password Manager, Wallet, Chrome, Blogger, Books, Google Analytics, Google Notebook, and Task. And then you will see Google Forms. See Google Forms, this is where we have our interest. And so I will simply click on Google Forms. Google Forms. So I just clicked on Google Form, and this is a blank form. These are templates. These are templates. So I wouldn't want to bother us with templates just like assessment template, contact information template, RSVP template, party invite template. I wouldn't want to bore us with this. I will simply want to create a blank form so that we will learn how to create a Google form from the beginning. So I will click on blank form, and then it opens like this. So I expect you to do same. So in this our Google form, or in our analysis, we want to run an analysis of snack preferences among Australian children. We want to consider how Australian kids, the kind of snacks they usually enjoy during different weathers, during different situations. And then we'll title this form, we'll title it, what do we title it? We'll title it Australian Kid Snack Survey. So you can just decide to title it whatever you like, but ensure it's easier for you to understand. So you look for a name that makes it easier for you to understand the content of your form. Australian kids snacks survey. Australian kid snack survey. And then you can add a description if you like. For me, I would want to make my description bold. So I will click on bold on B. It will make my description bold. I can decide to make it underline, but I can remove it. So I can type help us understand. Help us understand what Australian kids are eating as are eating, maybe as snacks. Okay, so we just added our title and then we just added a description to our title. And so we have the first question. We have the first question. This is an untitled question, so we'll have to title it. So let's call this first name or simply name. Let's call it name. And then we have so many options on the right. As you can see, my mouse pointer. We have options like short answer. If you select short answer, it means that the respondent, the respondent is the person filling the form. The respondent simply have to type his name. If you select the second option, paragraph, you will notice long answer text. Long answer text is used when you want the person to maybe make a description, maybe a theory. You want the person to answer to give a very long response, which is bigger than a name. Maybe you want the person to write a composition, or you want the person to describe how to cook. That's a long answer text. Or you want the person to explain how to drive. But the first one is short answer. Short answer like the person's name. And then the third option is multiple choice. Multiple choice is when you want the person to pick from a list of options, but you want him to pick more than one option. And then this is check boxes. You want it to appear this way, but I don't think you can see. If you click, it comes out option 1, option 2, option 3. So drop down. Of course, drop down is when you have something like this. This is a drop down. On its own, this is a drop down. And file upload, you want the person to upload, the respondents to upload a file. Then we have linear scale, rating, multiple choice grid box, date and time. Now you can see the option that is most suitable for a name is short answer. So we quickly go back to click on short answer, and then you can duplicate this question. You can click on duplicate question. You can delete this question, and then you can see the options: description, response, validation. You can click on required. If you check required, it means that such a person must fill this particular question, that this particular question is compulsory. So if you don't fill this question, you cannot submit. If the respondent does not fill this question, he or she cannot submit the form. Okay, so let's assume that the name is not required, the name is not compulsory, and then let's assume that you want to duplicate this question. So you just click on duplicate question, and once you click on it, you will notice that we have the same question here, we have the same question here. So we can decide to change the first one to first name, First, and then we can decide to change the second one to surname, Surname. You can see we simply duplicated it, and then after duplicating it, we edited this to first name and this to surname. I can decide to delete it. I can decide to make it required or make it compulsory. And then at the right hand side, you can see add question. You can see import questions from other forms. You can see add title and description. You can see add image. You can see add video, and you can see add section. So right here, let's go to this, so we can. This is add section. I just clicked on add section, and you can see the first section. This is section 2 of 2. Now this is section 1 of 2. So under this section, you can simply write location information. Okay, we can simply write, okay, state, and then in description we can write which state do you reside in Australia, and then a question mark. And so from my research, I realized that Australia has 6 states and also 2 mainland territories. So we have up to 8 options to choose from. And so we click on add question. Okay, I will simply have to copy or cut this question, cut, and then paste it here. So this is, I will name this location, Location. This is location. So under location, this is section for location. So under location, we have which state do you reside in Australia. So I would go to my options. Do I use multiple choice? Do I use checkbox? Do I use Dropbox? I think multiple choice will be better. If I click checkbox, you can see that the second option here turns to square. So I will go back to multiple choice, and it turns to circle. The circle option helps you to pick only one answer. You cannot choose 2 answers. But if you click checkboxes, checkboxes helps you to pick more than one answer. And in this case, you are not allowed to pick more than one answer because you cannot reside in 2 states at the same time. You must reside only in one state in Australia. So I will click on multiple choice, which allows you to pick only one. And now the first option is New South Wales. So I'll click on this and type the first option, New South Wales. And then the second option, Victoria, Victoria. The third option, Queensland, Queensland, okay, Nsland. The fourth option, South Australia, South Australia. The fifth option, Western Australia, Western Australia, and we have the Tasmania, Tasmania, and then we have the two mainland territories, the two mainland territories that also act like states in many ways, but they are not actually or officially states under the constitution. So these two mainland territories are Australian Capital Territory. So I'll simply write Capital Territory. And then finally, I'll have to scroll down. Finally, Northern Territory. Northern, Northern Territory. Okay. And so you can see I have 8 options. Which state do you reside in Australia? And I want my respondents, I want this particular question to be compulsory. Every respondent must answer this question. So I will simply click required. You must, you're required to, is a must. You must tell us the state you are resident on. And then I simply noticed that in my section 1, I have first name, which is not required, which is not compulsory. I have surname. If I click on this place, I will see that it is not compulsory. I forgot to type gender and then age bracket. So they are all part of the personal information of each respondent. So I will simply ensure that under, this is first name, this is surname, that right at this surname, you can see this option by the right. So I will simply click, I will make sure that these options, you can see if I scroll down, this option will keep shifting. These options will keep shifting. So I'll make sure I scroll up and ensure that this option is right by the side of surname. And then I'll click add question. So once I click add question, you will see that the new question simply comes under surname. So I will now type age bracket, age bracket, and then age bracket I will choose multiple choice because you can't have, or you can't have two ages. You must fall under one age bracket. And so what are the options we have? What are the options we have under age bracket? We have early childhood, which is uh 4 years, okay, 4 to 7 years. So the respondent has to tell us if he is around 4 to 7 years. Then we have the middle primary, which is around 8 to 10 years. It is around 8 to 10 years. And then we also have the upper primary or preteen, which is 11 to 13 years, And then we have the teenagers, which is 14 to 18 years. 14 to 18 years. Okay, I think that's all. And then this particular question should be compulsory, and therefore I will click required. It should be compulsory. And then right under it again, I will type add question. And then this question will be for the respondent to indicate his or her gender. So we'll write gender, GENDER, and then gender also has to be multiple choice. I can decide to use drop down, but I'll simply use multiple choice. And then I have male, and then I have female. You can see I have male, female, prefer not to say, option 4, option 5. I have 5 options. I can delete, I can remove option 5. I can remove, you can see where I'm clicking. If I want to remove any of the options, I'll simply click remove, and then I'll simply click remove, and then we can add the third option, non-binary, or others. And then the fourth option is prefer not to say. And then we want it to be compulsory, so we click required. And now you can see that right below it, we still have our location. Which state do you reside? In Australia. So we have done this before inserting this and this above it. So you can see if you forget any question, you can just go in between questions and insert the question you forgot to add initially. And so we can see that this is also required. The location is compulsory, is required. Gender is also compulsory. Even if you don't want to answer, you can say prefer not to say. And so we continue building our forms. And so other variables that may affect the choice of snack by children living in Australia are indeed things like cultural background. So I will simply add section. Oh, this section happened to just, and so this section, you can see it came to section 2 of 3. I can decide to delete it. Okay. We still have our section 1 of 2, and we still have our section 2 of 2, which is location. And then my intention was to click add section and add section 3 of 3 below this place. And so this is section 3 of 3. This is section 2 of 3. And this is section 1, section 2, and then section 3. So I want to create section 4. I will make sure that I click that section 3 is highlighted. I can click here, Okay, and then I click add section. So when I click add section, you will see section 4, and then I can title it cultural background, and that's cultural background. Then I can decide to add a description. What is your cultural background? What's your race? Okay, I can leave it open. I can leave the description. You can see it's optional. So I will simply click add question under the section 4, and then I will now ask what is your cultural background. What is your cultural background? I can decide to use okay, let me try drop down. So we'll see how drop down works. So the first option could be Australian. That's local Australians. The second option could be African. The third option could be European living in Australian. And okay, maybe American. Okay. Okay, we can simply add others. Or we can simply change this to maybe multiple choice, and then these others can delete it, and then I can delete American. I have Australian, African, European. I'll simply click add other. So when you click, when the person can see click others, and then he will manually type. Maybe it's from America, maybe it's from Middle East. Can simply type. So and this is also required. It's also compulsory. It's also compulsory. So we now have section 4, and that section 4 is for cultural background. Okay, we simply jump to the business of the day for proper the snack. What snack? So I'm now in section 4. So I will make sure I click inside section 4. Make sure you click inside section 4. You can see my mouse is in section 4. I then click add section, so that the new section will now be section 5 under section 4. So this is preferred snack for section 5. Preferred snack, preferred snack. And so right under section 5, we click add question. So what is your preferred snack? What is your preferred snack? And so your preferred snack, we can use a drop down. Can use a drop down. We can use a drop down for the preferred snack. And now we have to list so many snacks. So we have Tim Tams, uh, we have Milo, we have Jaffas, we have Minties, we have Sheeps, that's a whole lot to type. We have Lollies, we have Fairy Floss, we have Wagon Wheels, okay, it can't click, so I have to scroll down. We have M&M's, we have Fredo, we have Fantails, and so we scroll down, we have Musk Sticks, we have Snickers, and then we have Kit Kat, we have Twix, scroll down, TWIX, we have Mars Bar, and so we have Bounty, we have Dairy Milk, we have Cadbury, we have Coles Chips, we have Annats, we have Shapes, we have Tiny Teddy, we have Shoestring, we have Mami, we have Yogo, and so we have First Fruit Bust, we have Fruit Tango, we have Saw Worms, we have Jelly Beans, we have Cocoa Pops, and we have Weet-Bix. We have Mueslibar, Mueslibar. We have Nutri Grain. We have Rice Crackers. Rice Crackers. We have Paddle Pop. We have Golden Gate Time. We have Zupa Dupa. We have Icy Pole. We have Snowball. So we stop here. Snowball. Okay, now that you have created this particular, I say, what is your, okay, let's use the word favorite. What is your favorite snack? Favorite. What is your favorite snack? Okay, and so we can duplicate this particular one. We can duplicate question. This is delete. Required. Okay, it must be required. Let's check. It must be compulsory. You must answer it. And okay, this is duplicate question. So we click on duplicate question. So you can see the same question up here is the same question down here. Okay, let's change the second question. Okay, you can see if I scroll up, you will see this is the question up. I just duplicated it. What is your favorite snack? So when I scroll down, you see, what snack do your parents prefer for you? What snack do your parents prefer for you? So you can see you still have options to choose from many of the snack, and then it's also required that you must answer this question. And so I don't want to bother us with so many questions. This is just an introduction. Okay, this is section 1, instruct in Australian Kids Snack Survey. Okay, let's change this description to for children from 4 to 18 years. Parents can guide. Okay, so this is for the section 1. Now for the section 2, first name, surname, age bracket. You can see age bracket has it has asterisks. Okay, you can see the asterisks. You can see the red asterisks, meaning that it is compulsory. Every person that is filling this form must answer it. You can see gender. You can see the red asterisks, indicating that it is compulsory. Every respondent must answer it. And then we are just going through our form, Which state do you reside in Australia? It is also compulsory. You can see the red asterisk. Why did we make it compulsory? By simply checking required. Once you check required, it becomes compulsory. And then you can see cultural background is also compulsory. Cultural background is also compulsory. And I think we'll have to add more. So I think we'll have to add more. I will have to delete this order and then adoption. You can see we are just editing what we have done. So let's add American and then let's add Middle East. And finally we add Asian. Okay, I think all the continents are represented. And then we scroll down, or simply we can simply add prefer not to answer. For privacy reasons, prefer not to answer. And then what's your favorite snack? Your favorite snack, Tim Tams, Milo, and the rest. And then we scroll down. What snack do your parents prefer for you? And you scroll down. And that's the end of our Google form. That's the end of our survey. And so now that we have finished filling our forms or creating our forms, we can simply, you can see this customized theme. This is preview. This is undo. If you took a particular action and you want to undo it. And this is redo. This is copy respondent link, share, and publish. We are expected to publish by the end of the creation of the form, but I would like us to first preview the form. This is preview. So let us preview the form to see how the form will appear before our respondents or before our classmates who are going to fill this form. So I will simply click on preview and it will open in a new tab. So once I click preview, you will see Australian Kids Snack Survey. You can see this form isn't accepting responses because we have not yet published it. That's why it isn't accepting responses, because we have not yet published it. So the moment we publish it, it will automatically start receiving responses from people who will send the link to. And so this is how the form will appear. Australian Kids Snack Survey for children from 4 to 18 years. Parents can guide. So let's click next. So Australian Key Snack Survey, asterisk indicates a required question. So there is no asterisk in first name. So the respondent may decide not to fill it, but in this case, I can decide to fill it. Emily. Surname, I can decide to leave it empty. But you can see age bracket, you must fill it. The respondent must fill it. So maybe I will choose 14 to 18 years. And then gender, uh, okay, let me try to click next without filling gender. Next, you can see this is a required question. The respondent cannot, if you like, click next for the next 100 years. It will not work because you must have the responder have to fill this, must have to make a choice here. So let's try male. Okay, maybe female because Emily is a female, and so I will click next. You can see it will take me to the next page. Which state do you reside in Australia? So this is New South Wales, Victoria. Okay, let's choose Capital Territory. And then next. What is your cultural background? Okay, let's choose African or let's choose Australian. And then next. What is your favorite snack? You can see this is a drop down. This is a drop down. What is your favorite? You can see because it is so long, I need to put it on a drop down so that it won't occupy my whole space. So you can see how long it is. You can see how long it is. I didn't want it to occupy my whole page, so I used a drop down. So, okay, maybe I will choose what's actually my favorite snack. Okay, I choose Snickers. Now, what snack do your parents prefer for you? What snack do your parents prefer for you? Maybe I choose dairy milk. And then you can see the submit button is not activated because the form has not yet been published. So this is how the form looks like. So after creating a form, you must have to preview it. So you see how the form looks like. I can click back. So when I click back, you would see that you will have the option to view your former responses. You can view your former responses back. All right. All right. Okay, so I can simply close this tab. Can simply close this tab. And now this is my original form. This is my original form page. You can see what is your favorite snack. What is your favorite snack? You can see I'm using a drop down. A drop down. All right. So I'll simply click publish. In the absence of no corrections, remember this is just for academic purposes. So if there are some privacy concerns that are not addressed here, please, this is just for academic purposes. This is just for academic purposes. So I will simply click publish. Publish form. Responders are, I can choose anyone with the link. I can manage. I can restrict it, anyone with the link, or remove link, or whatever. Editor view. So these are just advanced. So this is anyone with the link. Nobody will be notified. So I'll just click publish. Okay, I can repeat that again. Click publish and just click publish. And now you can see that the form has been published. See published, published. And then this is the link I will send to people. I will simply click copy. If I copy this link, I will send it to through WhatsApp, through Messenger, through any form of chat to people who I want, or maybe you can post it in your group chats, your class group chats, your friends group chat, and then they will fill this form and then you will receive responses. So I can equally shorten this URL. You can see I can shorten it. You can see it's now very short. I can shorten it. And then before I copy. So I've copied to clipboard. And then I open my WhatsApp. And so now that my WhatsApp is open, I will simply type, you can see the group where I want to post it, data analytics special. So I will simply paste. You can see the form, the link. I simply paste Australian Kids Snack Survey for children from 4 to 18 years. And then I can give a space and type, please fill out this form to enable us conduct our analysis. Thanks. And then I click. So I now sent it to a WhatsApp group. I quickly minimize it. So I've now sent it to a WhatsApp group. Uh, so whenever I would want to resend, I can simply come here, shorten the URL link, copy and send. And now I can preview it again. and preview it again. Next. Okay. So Emmy as first name, age bracket 14 to 18 years, gender male. Next. Okay. Capital territory. Next. What's your cultural background? Maybe Australian. Next. What's your favorite snack? Maybe Tim Tams. What do your sheeps? What snacks do your parents prefer for you? Sheeps. Okay. So that's it. Okay, I can simply close the preview. So when people fill this form, this is responses. No responses yet. Please check back later. So when people fill this form, this is the questions and these are the responses. So when people fill this form, I will see responses. You can see 0 responses. I will see responses from this point. And so this is settings. I can make this a quiz. I can manage how responses are collected and protected, and then the rest. So this is my questions. This is my responses. This is my settings. All right. And so I can close this form. So whenever I would want to check on my responses to see if people have already given me a response, I will simply open my browser and then I will go back. You can see my Google Apps. I'll go to my Google Apps, scroll down to Google Forms. You can see Google Forms. I will click on it. And then I'll go to my recent forms. This is Australian Kids Snack Survey. You can rename it Australian Kids Snack Survey. And then I click OK. So you can simply see I have renamed it from Untitled Form to Australian Kids Snack Survey. So I'll simply click on it and then it will open up again. You can see my forms and then I click on responses and then 0 responses. So we'll do another video of when we will have responses. So when we have responses, we would see how we can download the responses. We download the responses as Microsoft Excel file. We download it as Microsoft Excel, and from there we can import it to data analytics tool like Tableau, like Power BI, and we can work on it directly on Excel. And then we can see our pie charts, our histogram, our bar charts, and all other charts. And I think that brings us to the end of this particular video. I would ask you to please click on the subscribe button, and then as you wait for our next video on this particular series, where we must have gotten some responses from respondents, and then we will use their responses to perform data analysis. Thank you. I am Reverend Dr. Namchez. Goodbye.